Plane for this search, and I want to thank his pilots, Blake and Ricky. They had a lot of fun with their flight trackers trying to hide where that plane was going to and from. So thank you so much for allowing us to use your plane for the search. It makes my job so much easier to have access to that. I want to acknowledge our Deputy Athletic Director, John Fagg, and his wife, Amanda. Where's John? John, stand up. John has been by my side throughout this and an invaluable resource. And I think John and I both agree that we've seen enough of each other for the past 2 weeks, and for sure, John, thank you. I echo that sentiment. And there have been a number of people behind the scenes that have helped me with this search, led by our external team and our Deputy AD, Rick Thorpe, who put this event together, and another incredible rollout for our new head coach. I want to thank our legal counsel, our Chief Legal Counsel, Matt McCoy, for his role, our Deputy AD and CFO, Clayton Hamilton, for his role, Alicia Venables and our travel office for helping us with our travel arrangements, and of course my administrative assistant, Leanne Bowles. A big thank you to all of those folks. And finally, for my family, and two of my boys are here with me, Ryan and Brooks, and my son Jacob, of course, is a student athlete on the football team. This has not been an easy time for them, and especially to my wife. I know this was a very stressful couple of weeks as she watched me go through this process, but I can assure you I came home last night, and if you remember, after the Coach Musselman search, we had a new puppy, no new dogs at the house last night. So we made it through virtually unscathed. You know, as I talked to coaches around the nation about this opportunity, it reaffirmed to me what I believe about our program. The University of Arkansas football program is one of great tradition and great pride, and with the right leader can have great success within the Southeastern Conference. I know for many of us in the Razorback Nation, coaching searches can last much longer than we prefer. But it was important that we took our time to find a great coach and also to identify a coach who truly wanted to be here at the University of Arkansas and clearly understands our state and the expectations we have for our football program. It was important to find a coach that operates with the utmost integrity, both on and off the field, and hires a staff that carries the same positive attributes that they will carry on to our team on and off the field. It was important to find a coach who had experience in the SEC, winning battles on the recruiting trail, winning battles in the trenches on the field, and who had a track record for developing NFL-ready players. From the first time I spoke to Coach Pittman, he made it clear to me he and his wife, Jamie, wanted to be at the University of Arkansas. He understood the tradition and the pride of our program, and he wanted to be a part of the building process to restore this pride and tradition. I assure you he is not intimidated by the mountain our football program has to climb in the Southeastern Conference Western Division. He told me this: you don't need to worry, he was not focused on his salary or what his buyout was going to be. He confidently told me, you don't need to worry about your buyout unless you're planning on failing. I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to let down our student athletes. I'm not going to let down our fan base. I'm not going to let down the University of Arkansas. I promise you together, we will build a winning football program.
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. As we continue on, you heard it. Yes, Demetrius, you absolutely heard it from your athletic director, Hunter Yurachek as he announced the new head hall, the pit boss, Sam Pittman as the new head football coach on Monday during our opening ceremony, our welcoming ceremony inside the practice facility. It was really, really an exciting time. I'm still excited, Demetrius, and I want to quickly bring in my co-host who does a lot of double duty and does a great job here. But Demetrius, I mean, we've had about roughly over 72 hours to digest Coach Pittman being here on campus, and we want to make a note before I let my co-host answer. If you have any questions that you want to talk about, how do you feel? Do so by calling us at 479-601-7400, or you can chime in on our YouTube page. That's On the Hill Sports Talk LLC. Also, too, you can get us here on our Facebook Live page. Chime in with any questions. Staff, I am hearing possibly some more staff additions on the recruiting front. Sam and assistant coaches Brad Davis and I believe Steve Caldwell have been quite busy as they've made their way to Memphis to see former Missouri offensive line commit Ray Curry. Coach Brad Davis has been down to see him. They've also been to see on yesterday Ole Miss commit out of Conway offensive lineman Robert. I believe Robert Moore. He was visited also to North Carolina committing quarterback commit Jacoby Criswell has also been visited by Sam and Coach Davis and Coach Caldwell, and just they're on their way. I mean, you can kind of tell this is the one thing that Coach Pittman has been known to be great at. And I also think he's a great leader of men, but this is when he's in his comfort zone, when it's time to go out and recruit. And, I'm going to be really excited, Demetrius, to see how things shape up, really with the staff, the some of the commits, the decommits, how things are starting to shape up. Yeah, I think that's the fun part now that we're getting into the meat of really when the offseason starts and where teams are really formed going forward.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, how Coach really takes on this recruiting class. With less than 20 days before early signing class, or actually like less than 9. What day is early signing period?
I think on the 18th, the early signing period.
So we're talking about a week.
Yes.
Today's the 11th, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, today's the 11th, so we're talking about a week. So I'm interested to see just how relentless Coach Pittman can be, because I think this will be the first testament of what Pittman and the type of connections and relationships that Sam Pittman has, because I still think he's going to crack that top 30 when you're talking about overall ratings, as far as Arkansas being 100 and whatever they're ranked at as right now in recruiting. I think Pittman's going to put us in anywhere between that 40 to 30 range when it's all said and done.
We have a question from Nick Lee, one of our very loyal listeners and viewers, and the question is the Barry Lundy departure going to be very critical for this upcoming season? I'll let you chime in on that, and then I'll give my response.
So I have the utmost respect for Barry Lundy Jr., so I apologize for any Barry Lundy fans that's listening, but this is just my honest opinion. But I don't think he will be missed as far as his coaching ability. I feel like Sam Pittman will go get a coach that's, if not qualified, just as qualified, more than qualified than Barry Lundy was. And I think it was just time. I feel like if you look at the type of players that Barry Lundy coached at the University of Arkansas with the tight end group, all those guys were NFL guys. I say all of them except for maybe A.J. Derby. That was maybe the one anomaly that Barry Lundy coached that I felt, he had something to do with that. But I had heard A.J. Derby play tight end before he played quarterback as well. So it wasn't just, this is my first year playing tight end. But I think the relationship is where, if anything, if he is missed, that's really where it's going to be. I think he would have been that link to just having a right-away relationship with the guys on the team. You could tell guys really wanted to play with Barry Lundy in that LSU game, and I like the heart they showed. But I think once guys really understand Sam Pittman and they see the type of coaching staff he puts together, guys are going to be like, wow, that was such an upgrade, and this is probably one of the best coaching staffs to ever coach at the University of Arkansas?
I think I think being from the state of Arkansas, I think if you look at it that way, with Barry being our former Razorback, having coached here at Arkansas, I mean, you kind of hate to see one of your own move on. I could get that in that aspect, but then when you step away from it and you look from a professional and a business standpoint, I think this is a great move for Barry Lunny. And I'm not going to say being in a great move to try to to belittle or anything that he did here, because I mean the proof's in the pudding. He has put a lot of guys in the NFL that'll be playing on Sundays, but at the same time, sometimes you got to get away from home to grow up, and put yourself in an opportunity. I thought with Barry being an assistant coach here for so long, I thought that might have kind of hurt him in a sense with getting the head job here at the University of Arkansas. And I think I think the good Lord has something even better in store for Barry. I think it's going to be good for him to go with Coach Traylor. I think they're going to make a great coaching staff as far as head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. Barry knows a lot about the game of football, so I'm kind of happy to see, and I'm real eager to see how he'll do. Being an offensive coordinator in Conference USA, and then having all those Texas kids around him. I mean, he's always been real good recruiting in that state. So I don't think it's going to be too big of a loss. I mean, because I believe in what Coach Sam Pittman will bring in here. I mean, look, it's already Brad Davis is one of the more elite young up-and-coming offensive line coaches in all of college football. And you look what he's been able to do. And I think he's going to have a lot of, a mixture of that young and old kind of, how like a smooth drink, when you make a good cocktail, it tastes real good, and you're able to move. I think that's what his staff will be like, and he said it and I think we'll play once again. He has to have people that are going to be loyal to the program, loyal to the players, and be able to talk to the players in such a way, relationship-wise, that it's a constant. We know, I mean, they'll know where they're coming from. So, Demetrius, I don't think that it's going to be too much of a loss when that comes, because I think they're going to get just as good. And I agree with you, as a tight end coach, a developer of talent, and a recruiter, all in one. So now I think we're in good hands having Sam Pittman as the leader of this program.
And I want to add something to that. I think it's great when you have Arkansas ties leave the state of Arkansas and go to other D1 programs. UTSA is maybe not the most famous college around, but I think it gives Arkansas as a state more publicity, more exposure.
Hold on. Did you hear one of our loyal listeners? Did you hear read what Mr. Royce just said? I mean, one of our all-time listeners.
I'm going to miss Mr. Roy. I think he's still going to.
What you mean miss? We keep on going. We keep on going. Once a part of the family, always a part of the family. I mean, he can call in with opinions anytime or comments anytime. I mean, no.
I'm looking at Mr. Billy Wayne. He said that crown and coat, when you make that crown and coat just right. I see Mr. Billy. We have another question from Dora Borger. Sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. Do you think any of Pittman recruits will come from Georgia, and will there be any surprises in the early period?
Knowing Sam, I believe there's going to be something that he always pulls out. I mean, as far as recruits following Sam to destinations, I mean, we can go back to here at Arkansas back in 2013 when Reeve Kohler and both Dan Skipper, were all already committed to Sam at Tennessee. Hence, ended up following Coach Pittman to Arkansas when he was named the offensive line coach. There also, too, Arkansas kind of went through that situation where there were a couple kids that were on the verge of committing to Arkansas that followed Sam on to Georgia. So, I mean, Sam's just one of those type of guys. When you have a personality that kids trust, they gravitate to, and it's real and genuine, you kind of don't want to lose that, because that's real hard to find in today's coaching world, because everybody wants something, and it's just something about it. And I say that, Sam, obviously if they win, they're going to get money. But I think with Sam, you just feel that father figure approach. You just have that feel with Coach Pittman, and I think but I do think that he, Coach Davis, and the remainder of his staff, because you never know. I think they're going to have some success. I think what you want to go see who you can surprise at that junior college level at the moment, because these are the kids you got to worry about, those big time 10 or top 20 JUCO kids that are going to be early signing period that are going to come in here in the spring, and you get a chance. You're going to have a couple high school kids. With that being said, but you really want those junior college guys to be able to sign early, come in here and impact the program because they're a little bit older, a little bit more hungry. Demetrius, where are you at with that question? And great question, by the way.
Absolutely. I think Sam Pittman is going to bring one of those shocker recruits. And again, I think that's where a testament to his relationships. That was kind of what I was alluding to earlier. I just think Sam Pittman knows too many and is respected by too many not to get some guys that probably would have never looked at Arkansas and guys that you wouldn't think would even come to Arkansas, but because of the reputation of Sam Pittman. And that's why I say this is probably one of the best decisions Arkansas could have made, because Sam Pittman has so many high school relationships, right, NFL relationships, college relationships. So when you have those type of ties, guys are willing to go to bat for you as far as calling their old high schools and getting the top recruits at their alma mater and sending them your way, or at least putting a bug in your ear saying, hey, I got a guy over here at Arkansas that I know he's a really, really good coach. If he sends you an offer, you may want to look at. And I think you're going to see a lot of that from Sam Pittman. And I think some alumni that we had on the other day were talking about, kids from his school, whenever he gets one of those top tier blue chip kids, he's going to call Sam Pittman and let him know, hey, I got a ball player down here. And I think when you have that type of reputation, recruiting comes easy just because you've laid a solid foundation. And
I know that at the impact, and you always can see it with Razorback fans, and Sam Pittman mentioned it. They're different. I mean, they're really unique in their own special way, in the fact that weeks ago when we were talking about this, the possibility, we had Jake Roos on, I believe it was almost well over a month ago, when, the Pittman rumors or my Pittman suggestion came up. Let's just be real with it. A lot of drawback at first. But as you look down into the numbers and you really look at what, the meat and all the potatoes that Sam has on his table and what he can bring to yours, now things look a little bit better. And I've heard and I've seen all the, he was not the top priority. How do we know? Because from what I know about Hunter Yurachek, if he says Sam was the only one to be offered, then I really put a lot of stock into what Hunter says. I like the way Hunter does it, though, Demetrius. He lets us guys in the media, and national and local, throughout all, and even fans. I mean, and he knew it's just like, Christmas, when you want that present. You're that 5 to 10-year-old kid, and you got something really good up under the tree, and mom's like, don't be looking at that tree. But you want, and you try to just shake it, and you find ways and want to figure out what it is. That's the way it was with this this coaching search. And I was a victim. I fell to some of the scuttlebutt, some of the talk that I had heard, but I always wanted Sam Pittman. And then, now people saw Sam and they saw the raw emotion and what, how much this job meant to him when he got up there and he showed, those tears fell. And those were real. That wasn't a script. Then things changed.
Hey, that's a great question by Billy Wayne.
Read that out to me.
Mr. Carter says, what team do you want to beat next year the most? Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi, or Missouri? And he said Auburn. He wanted to be Auburn, but I'm assuming this because Chad has went down to be the OC down there at Auburn. But what's the team that we have a grudge with in the SEC West?
I'm going to tell you now, I think it's going to be an Ole Miss. Just real. I think this rivalry with Arkansas and Ole Miss, I think they're going to be battling for a lot of the same kids, both in the SEC and on the national level. I think these are going to be two programs that are hungry to win and can win. Have really, really incredible fan bases. As I was really impressed. It was the first time I'd been down to Ole Miss. And even through a turmoil type of beginning of the year, they still I felt the energy in the stadium. And I think with Lane Kiffin, he's also too going to be able to. I mean, he's proven he's going to have a staff and they're going to be able to recruit. So I would have to say it's going to be Ole Miss in my opinion.
I don't know why, but my heart is telling me Missouri. I know that sounds a little strange. But I just feel like somewhere along the line at Missouri, I really think it's about time for us to beat Missouri. I think Missouri has had too much success in the SEC to be in there in such a short time in Arkansas. Well, we've only beat Missouri one time since we started that.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's
So
been a minute. They hadn't beat them since 2015.
I just think
time
I think we're past due time to beat Missouri, and I feel like these last 2 years we've had opportunities to beat Missouri and we haven't put them away. But that's the one game if I say I want to win next year, it's Missouri, because I just think we're a better program than them, and I don't understand why we can't get that battle line trophy back here. And I'm not even a big fan of that game, but I just feel the significance that LSU game used to have, being that last game. That game doesn't have that tradition. It doesn't have that feeling, but I still feel like that's an opponent that Arkansas should, check off as a win every year.
Great comment. Who sent that to us?
That was Mr. Billy Wayne.
Look at Mr. B Dub. Look at him. Look at B Dub. Well, I mean, Jason Matthews has a great one as well. He's a great recruiter, and he was associate head coach at Georgia. He did Smart's job, which he really did. When you're associate head coach, that's some of the things that you have a little bit more expertise. So I agree with you on that, Jason. But I think Sam has always been, grooming himself for this. I do know Sam had, and he mentioned in the press conference that we had with the media, he had opportunities to move on and be an offensive coordinator at a lot of different schools throughout the SEC that would really shock you. Sam knows a lot of football. That's the one thing that I'm really, really drawn to him in the 3 years that I had a chance to cover him here in Fayetteville. His attention to detail. Now he knows how to play. He knows how to relax. He can make you laugh, but when it's time to go to work, and that's the one thing we kept hearing in both press conferences, and anytime you hear Coach Pittman talk, it always comes back to got to go to work. Got to go to work.
I just like the fact that he's old school. I think so many times a lot of these younger coaches try to trend towards what the youth wants. And that's good. You should definitely adapt to the youth. But
the youth like to trend with the older. It's easier to trend old than young. You see what I'm saying? I think his old school ways are really attractive to the younger.
I think they are, because it's a different level of discipline, and I think that's the one thing that, like, football in general to me is missing. It's become such an offensive, minded game. Really flashy, but a lot of the fundamentals aren't there anymore. And I just like the fact that you don't have to question if your head coach can develop players. That's been a question mark for Arkansas for a long, long time. I'll even say for Petrino. Petrino did not develop players.
Right.
He won a lot of games.
Right.
And he could score points, but he was not a player developer.
Right.
So I think
no defensive players at all. I mean, none. When you have 16 scholarship wide receivers and then you have no defenders, and then you go to Baton Rouge, and I knew there was a deficiency in talent the day we went to LSU, and I'm looking out there and I see they feature Patrick Peterson up on the screen, and then Arkansas defensive guys they trot out there, and then it's Dean Peavy. And no disrespect to DP, because he did everything he could, played up to potential and played with a lot of passion. But what I'm saying is, you're highlighting an NFL guy as to somebody that's just going to be a tremendous guy in the business
world. We missed a great question, Doyle. He asked about.
I saw that. I was getting ready to get to that.
Yeah, I thought this was a great question, because there's some sleepers at running back.
DB got the question this time.
This is a sleeper, because there's some sleeper running backs on the team that people are going to be really shocked and be like, why didn't this kid play last year? So, the question is, we need some running backs. They should really be looking at us hard right now. Pat, what are the running backs to look for? Because I know these guys in and out.
Well, see, that right there, that's a kind of a hard question, because I still think that's still where it comes in to who's going to be the running back coach. Now, we know it's not going to be Jeff Traylor, as he's moved on to be the head football coach at the University of San Antonio. Will it be Adele McGee, current running back coach at the University of Georgia? We had on Jake Roos of UJSports.com yesterday.
Coach, he's saying players. I'm explaining what players.
Traylon Smith is going to be a guy you got to keep an eye on. I think I've always, and I'll continue to say it, Monte Spivey is going to be a big-time running back at the University of Arkansas.
And Pat, kind of expand to, like, those guys' backgrounds, because I don't think guys really knew about the transfer. They because he really had some highlights in that spring game. Because I remember at the spring game,
Traylon was a guy that committed to Arizona State, played a year at Arizona State for Coach Edwards. Didn't work out at Arizona State, and I think had a pre-existing relationship with, I believe it was Coach Traylor on staff. Hence, he made his way to transfer to the University of Arkansas. But, Demetrius, when we watch him, I mean, the guy's real shifty. He has that second type of gear. He's going to be hard to tackle. I think he's going to be a guy that you'll be able to use in the slot, jet sweeps, things of that nature. That's going to be a guy, I think, when I watched DeMonte Spivey, he's one of the elite running backs. He comes from a great high school there at Phoenix, in Phoenix, Alabama, Central High School. This guy runs with power and speed and tremendous eyes. Is what in the short time when I got a chance to watch him during a lot of the practices and some of the drills, I'm just really excited about him. And then, like I said, it all depends on who's going to be the running back coach. Who were some of the kids that maybe were 4, 3, or whatever star, highly recruited at the school that this running back coach comes from. I think it's going to be. They're going to have some options. I think what Arkansas is really going to do recruiting-wise, though, Demetrius, is really focus on the junior college, and then that gives you that 4 to 5 week period coming back in when those visits. And Arkansas is going to have a lot of Saturday games and probably have a pretty good basketball team that you can use those games in Bud Walton to bring in some of those elite kids, kind of like Chad did in year one. Use January for his big high school push to get these kids in here and get them signed in February.
Yeah, going back to my comment on running backs, I don't think Arkansas will have any trouble getting running backs. I think I don't even really want to compare Sam Pittman to his last stint, but Arkansas will still be back in that contention as running back pretty soon. Because I think any running back wants to come where they know they have guaranteed linemen, and you have a coach that's going to go get you top tier linemen. Skill positions always want to come. So I think as far as running back and skill positions in general, like quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, I think there's no issue that Arkansas will definitely have depth at those positions.
Momentarily, we're going to cue up Coach Pittman's very first meeting with the team, as he was able to speak with the team Sunday night, late Sunday night. For those that missed it, we played it yesterday, but I want you guys to, in this momentary break, as we'll let you hear that audio for some that didn't, get a kind of a feel of Coach Pittman, and then, Demetrius, let's see how many of these questions get even more in depth. But we're going to play that clip, and then we'll be back with even more talk. We'll get it momentarily. I got sometimes I move so quick, but what we'll do is continue on with the questions. Marcus Brown, who do y'all think his assistants and coordinators gonna be? Great question, Marcus. I'm hearing Jay Johnson, who's the offensive coordinator, was the offensive coordinator the previous 2 years at Georgia. He's at Colorado as a quarterbacks coach in OC. Also, too, I've heard Ken Dorsey, and those that may know that name may not. He was the big-time quarterback, two-time runner-up to the Heisman Trophy there at the University of Miami. As he was one of the elite ones. He's the quarterback coach at Buffalo at the moment. Also, background. Also did a lot of one-on-one and had a real big hand in development. But Cam Newton there with the Carolina Panthers during the seasons between 15 and 17. So I had previously, prior to taking the job at Buffalo, was going to be with a guy that took over at Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz, as he was going to go to App State and be his offensive coordinator. But those are a couple of names I'm hearing. Still, Charlie Strong is a name that you hear out there. Barry Odom for the also too for the defensive coordinator position. But I think in this situation, to all our listeners, I think this is a good question and a good problem to have. Sam Pittman, and we continue to say it, is a likable guy. When you are around Sam, you instantly gain confidence. You instantly want to, that energy, you're ready to go. And I think even, he's that same way with players. He's that same way with his coaching staff. And people want to come and be a part of a program because he's so genuine. Who doesn't want this guy to succeed in his first head coaching job? Who wouldn't want to be working for a guy that's so loyal, that loves the program, And he's going to hire guys that feel the very same way. That's why if you're a Razorback fan, and that's why here me sitting here in the seat I'm in, I know Arkansas is in good hands because every move made by Sam Pittman is going to be made with the fans' thoughts, with the the players. Everything is going to be about Arkansas, and I like what he said. Arkansas strong. Heard that comment last night too, Demetrius. But we're going to play that clip, and then we're going to come back because one of our own, a guy that we all had a chance to watch run up and down the field for the University of Arkansas, Darren McFadden. DMAC, as we call him, was inducted into the Collegiate Football Hall of Fame last night. Give us some questions on how that made you feel. Your memories of DMAC, what game, moment, whatever it was. Shoot them to us, man. Demetrius, we're going to continue to talk with you because we like to talk sometimes, or at least I know I do. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a second. Let's get it.
Hey, so Razorback. Thank you.
I'm not a cliche coach. I'm just a freaking country dude from Grove, Oklahoma. I'm going to be loyal to you. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to communicate to you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to let you know that you're damn important. This phone right here, it's at 480-some text messages. You know about 100 of them? That coach want to come coach at Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
Huh? I ain't going to tell you what schools. I ain't going to sit here and tell you what schools. When we hire coaches, they're going to have the same philosophy that I do, is they have to have a love for Arkansas, and they have to have loyalty to Arkansas. They have to have communication skills for our players, guys that they can sit back and they can talk to you and understand where you're coming from. The only way that we can have success is for you guys to go to work. And I promise you we'll go to work. I want to be around people that go, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. And the only way you can do that, guy, is go to work. You guys understand the tradition of the Arkansas Razorbacks, correct? Well, how come we can't get back to that? Can't we? We at Arkansas, the University of damn Arkansas, and we're going to get it done, and we're going to get it done together. I need everybody in this room. Everybody in this room. You're a scholarship guy, you're a walk-on guy, it don't matter. We need everybody in this room, because all ladies are saying, I don't want to lose one guy in this room. Again, you didn't choose me, I chose you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You hear that, Demetrius? I mean, that's another thing. I mean, we're University of damn Arkansas. I mean, what coaches come in here and talk and said it with that much confidence and had it and said it with that much passion? I mean, you tell me a coach that's come in here, and I've seen them multiple. I mean, we've seen the Petrinos, we've seen the Bielemas, we've seen the Chad Morrises. These are the three current coaches. When they took the podium, I can't, if you're a fan and you watched all, because I know how Razorback fans do, there's a new coach hired, everybody's watching it. Because first and foremost, you got to win the press conference. That's the main thing. Which coach has really made you feel, Demetrius? And I want to pose this question to you, and then we'll get back to some of these really, really hot, good, juicy questions that our viewers and listeners are shooting to us. But out of the ones that you've been to, I think you've been to Neighbors, Musselman, Chad Morris, Hunter Yurachek, and here recently, Sam Pittman, Demetrius. Out of those press conferences, which one won you the most when you walked out of that building?
I would probably have to say, I don't know. It's kind of an easy choice, kind of toss up between Eric and Sam Pittman, but they both struck me in different ways. Because Sam Pittman got me on his emotion and passion and love for the game, but Eric Musselman, he won me off by his knowledge of the game and his analytics of the game and the things that I felt Arkansas lacked. That he was a specialist at.
Right.
So I don't know. They kind of both those two things kind of separated them, but at the same time they were kind of even to me.
Steve Armin, we want to continue to get his question. Hope Boyd stays. I think that's a 50-50. I think Rakeem. No, I think Rakeem. If I had to take a guess right now, is leaning more coming back to the University of Arkansas.
Nah.
Then that's just my own personal opinion. I think either way, I think he's done enough if he wants to go pro. I give him my whole 110,010% support because this young man has earned it. But I think I was a 50-50 in my opinion.
I think he's gonna do one of those things where
I do think Demetrius losing Jeff Traylor could play a major factor.
Yeah, and that's why I say I think Rakeem leaves. What I think Rakeem does is he because now you can enter.
I think he'll sit down with the running back coach that's named here at Arkansas first. I think he'll sit down because I think it'll all get done. Because I think when you're trying to go, if you're going to take your name out and forego your senior year, I think it has to be like January 15th, somewhere around that, or 20th. So I think he'll probably sit down, see the offensive staff that's collected and see if it fits his talents. And if it does, really consider. But like I said, I think right now it's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah, I say 70-30, and I say it's leaning more towards the NFL. I think Rakeem puts his name in, because now you can put your name in and take it out. But I think he puts his name in and shops it around, and I think he gets the feedback. He's gonna hear the buzz that he wants to hear, because I think anytime you rush for 100 yards on our Alabama defense, and he was kind of that spark before O'Grady really made his shine. Rakeem Boyd was that offensive threat that Arkansas had.
Right.
So I think so many NFL teams already have a kind of a profile on him, and he's being looked at at such a high rate right now.
Marcus Brown, great question. His question is, do you think Griswold will flip?
I don't know enough about the recruit.
I think it's going to be a big time. I think that's going to be high interest, and I also too think that he's. Jacoby's in a situation that he's going to find out who's going to be the OC, what type of offense, who's going to be the quarterback coach. All those things. Now, I think in the meeting yesterday that Sam and Coach Davis and Coach Caldwell had with Jacoby and his family, that they might have had some privy to some possible OCs or quarterback coaches that will be making his way to Arkansas. That I don't know, but I think Arkansas is going to really come. I think it's going to be hard for him to say no. It's just hard when, like I said, I can tell you that when you meet Coach Pittman, it's hard to tell him no. And Demetrius, he said that in his press conference. You want to get so close to him, you make it hard to say no. And I think that's what he's doing with the in-state kids. I think there's going to be I think there's going to be a tremendous amount of love shown to Robert Moore, to Jacoby. The big-time offensive line, Aaron Smith, there at North Little Rock is another young man that I've seen on film. I hadn't had a chance to see him in person this season, but he's a guy I think Arkansas is really going to start making a turn to. So I just, with Sam can flip anybody. In my opinion, that's just my own personal opinion. Next question. Somebody said Jason Barry Odom's Wikipedia has been changed to University of Arkansas defensive coordinator. I might have to get you to check that one out, D. I'm not sure.
I don't believe in Wikipedia. I can't.
Because I had thought, what I was hearing through the scuttlebutt was Barry Odom's going to end up at Memphis. He may take the Memphis head coaching job, but this is a time of year where I'm telling you. Coaches, everything. There's a lot of shaking up going on before the bowl games. People's got to get their staffs in order. And Christopher Shaw. Hey, OTH, do you have swag you guys can put out? I would like to rep you guys here in Fort Benning, Georgia. On the way. In the process. 2020, we will have some OTH apparel that you will be able to purchase all the way in Fort Benning, Georgia. If we can get our brand anywhere, we're definitely going to try to get it because we appreciate all the viewers, all the comments. We really enjoy interacting with our people. This is your show just as well as our show. We just have a platform, and all you got to do is come in the room and enjoy things with us. That's all you got to do. like we say, let's get it. We're going to step away, get us a real quick break here, and then come back with our final segment with more questions. We got a lot to get through. As I'm telling you, you guys are hot today. Hot as firecracker grease. I'm telling you. Or skillet grease. Which one? Just hot, I'm telling you. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a minute.
It was yesterday, wasn't it now? And I tell you what, great people that are in charge of the University of Arkansas, and people that love the university. And I want to thank Judy Henry. She's awesome. And she helped me. I think what she did was she bugged Hunter a lot. And but she did a great job. She called me, and she thought I could get the job. She thought I deserved the job. And by golly, I wanted it. And so she helped me very much. I want to thank the University of Georgia. Kirby Smart has been very good to me. We had a good run there, and I had some really good players there, good kids. And I want to thank Kirby for being so kind to Jamie and I. I want to thank my wife. She was the first six-star back in 1986. So my recruiting skills started a long time ago. We want our program to reflect the great state of Arkansas. And I'm not a big slogan guy or anything like this, but we're going to work hard. We're going to be blue collar about it. We're going to be tough. We're going to earn what we get, and we're going to go after it. Well, the traditions of the state have calling the hogs. You going to sell me a house? There's only one Razorback. Isn't it the greatest mascot of all times?
Welcome in. And to our great listener and viewer, Mr. Terry, give us a shout back. Apparently, I didn't get the phone call, which, I always get my phone calls. But that was more audio from Sam Pittman's introductory press conference this past Monday in the Walker indoor practice facility there on the campus of the University of Arkansas. But let's get back to more questions. Well, let's try this. Hunter Yurachek knows what we need. This is Chuck Yarbrough, CY. Good. Thanks for the comment. But Hunter knows what we need, and what I give him a pat on the back. Next year, after more than 2 wins, then I would get, okay, all right, we got a caller. On the Hill, who we got? Who we talking to? Is this Mr. Terry? I think I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All
what
right.
do you mean, great 4 years? Let's get off into this. You gonna get away from us like that? You can't get away from us like that here on OTH. We won't allow it.
Yeah, I can barely make you out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, what do you mean? It's been a great 4 years. I mean, are you making your final trip through the A with us?
Do I want to be on the air with you?
Yeah, I'm saying, what you saying? You're leaving us, Terry? Where are you going? You can't leave OTH. We're not going to allow that.
Yeah, you breaking up kind of bad. I can hardly hear you.
All right, well, hold on. We're going to hang up, and then you give us a call back here in a couple of seconds. We'll fix that problem.
You gonna call me back or you want me to call back?
Yeah, you give us a call back here in about 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to fix that problem.
Okay, then.
All right.
All right.
Well, we got to fix that problem, Demetrius. We can't allow Mr. Terry Roy to get away from us like that. I mean, we just can't allow it. I mean, that we can't let any of our viewers get away from us. But real quick, as Mr. Terry Roy will be making his way back on the phone lines with us, but hit us back real quick, Terry. Steve Armin is watching from Cabot, Arkansas. I want to thank you for watching. I mean, Demetrius, this is very humbling. If you're in our position to have so many listeners chiming in, but I think we got a phone call. No, that's not a phone call. That was just a test call. Is what it was. My producer is playing games over here. This Christmas holidays, I guess. But, all the way I just want to get back to it is just very humbling for all our viewers. I mean, Fort Benning, Georgia, all the way down in Cabot. But, just know that we greatly appreciate all your comments as we're going to continue on. Let's get it in. I think we are under 500 again in 2020, unfortunately. Right now, initially, I would have to agree with that statement, Nick. I think Arkansas is, because now you're having to learn yet another scheme. You're going to have to learn another culture for those kids, and that's real difficult. I mean, people, you think football is, but what will be the philosophies? What will be the things stressed in Coach Pittman's program? Toughness. I know, when you look at going from Coach Morris to who's more of a finesse type to Coach Pittman. Now, people say toughness, but that doesn't necessarily mean, and I think we're going to try this one more time. This is Mr. Roy. How we doing? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you well.
All right. What do you mean, Mr. Roy? You getting ready to leave us. It's been a great 4 years. No, these 4 years are going to turn into 4 more years with you riding with OTH, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to continue to call it. Just been great, talking to you guys, getting to know you guys, man, and appreciate all y'all support that y'all gave them of all these years. Appreciate the University of Arkansas for giving him a scholarship, which they didn't have to do. But our family will appreciate it, and now he's able to walk across the stage with his degree, which is more important than any amount of yards he ever got at Arkansas. So,
when you look at this program over your 4 years, you had a family member go through it. What were some of the things from a family perspective? I mean, you're all the way, I believe, in the Houston area, but to watch it,
yeah.
What was that like, Mr. Roy? And what do you think the future going forward? Because I also, too, I used to see you on social media being a proponent of Sam Pittman. How excited are you for these kids going forward?
Oh, I'm really excited for them. I don't think they even know what they've got in Mr. Pittman. I got to meet him, when they were recruiting Devoir, and all I can tell them is that he's all about winning. He's not going to accept nothing less. But he's going to accept more, but he's not going to accept less. That's for sure. That I know.
What's life for you now? So I think what we're going to end up doing is having a segment, Demetrius, called the T. Roy segment of the week.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. I mean, because like I said, we're not going to let you go, but like I said, feel free to call us anytime. You've been one of the loyal from day one viewers of this show, and hey. You remember the shirt on the wall, don't you? Remember that sauced up T-shirt that we came out with that had the little bitty Arkansas cardboard picture?
Yeah. I remember it well.
Hey, you put out a video. You put out a video with our intro one night.
Oh yeah, I love that intro. When those bitches you to give that to the University of Arkansas, man, will come out on that. That's all right. Yeah, me up on my feet dancing with that one.
Hey, I know you're a Patriot fan too, Mr. Roy.
Oh yeah,
I'm a Buffalo Bill guy, and let me forewarn you.
In a couple of weeks.
We're coming there, and we're coming there to take it down.
I know it. I know y'all are.
We're coming to take it down.
Y'all to be excited out there in Arkansas. I'm telling you, he's a different type of cat. So,
well, Mr. Roy, thanks for your call, my man. Stay blessed, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
oh yeah, y'all do. I'll be around.
All right. That was Mr. Terry Roy, our loyal listener from the great state of Texas area. Hit us back. Hit us on back. We got a couple minutes before we get out of here. But I want to comment on Darren McFadden. And he was one of the topics. We'd be remiss not to mention the GOAT of all Arkansas running backs. Darren McFadden was announced and inducted into the Collegiate Football Hall of Fame last night. Tara Talmadge and Lissa Orange from the Pig Trail Nation, two outstanding young female sports broadcasters. They do a great job. They've got a lot of updated information. You want to check that out. But we got a phone call. Let's see who we got. On the hill, who we got?
Hey, it's Christopher Shaw out of Fort Benning.
Well, what's going on, my man? Thanks for taking call.
I started listening to you guys, about 4 weeks now, I think.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know you guys existed until I got on Facebook and scrolling, and there we go.
So, Christopher, with the new coach being hired, my man, what's your take with the pit boss taking over the helm here in Fayetteville?
So what I did is I got off work a little early to watch that little conference he did, and the first thing I could see is without him saying a word was you just saw passion in this man's face. You saw a guy wanted to be here, and a guy just wanted to develop kids into men.
Right.
And just sitting here, even my wife making fun of me. I was like, it's this man's passion. He's ready to go. Then we had that first little tearjerker, and it was game time.
Hey, it is funny, Chris, because I told Demetrius, because you heard me say on the show about the conversation I had with Sam back in 2013, and me and Demetrius were riding over to the press conference. I said, Demetrius, I'm just telling you, it's coming. Don't know when on the podium, but I said his emotion and how bad he wanted to be here at Arkansas, it's going to come out. Which was the greatest. And, that's what I've always felt, in covering this program when Sam was offensive line coach here, Chris, is you kind of knew who the real head football coach on the team was because not only his positional players gravitated to him, but every single player had to make their way before practice or after practice or sometime in that building to acknowledge Sam Pittman and just have a couple moments of his time. And I think that's what this program really needed. They needed somebody that had it, passion, but also had the love and loyalty and wanted to be here, not only for the university, but for them kids and for the state of Arkansas. And I think people, as the year goes on, no, he's not the sexy, but how sexy was Ed Orgeron 3 years ago when it was Tom, Herman, or Jimbo?
If you can understand it.
I think, in time, people will realize that Sam Pittman, there's no more qualified football coach in all of the college football world that's more ready to step in here and take Arkansas. And like he said, that I liked it. This is University of damn Arkansas.
Oh,
when the coach says that, you gotta love it, don't you?
Being a diehard Razorback fan my entire life. Even my dad's from Ohio and he's an Ohio State alumni. I rep the Razorback.
Well, man, make sure you shoot us your email, send us your address. We will get some. We're gonna have some OTH stuff that we're gonna put out here in the coming year.
Will do, boys, and I'll keep calling you guys every day. Even when I'm in work, I'll kind of tell some guys that.
Sounds good, my man.
I'll go there and watch it.
Hey, thanks for all your support, and you have a blessed one, my man.
You too, guys.
All right. Hey, that was Chris Shaw. I'm talking about, it's getting – sometimes when you're playing good grass, it grows. But that's going to wrap up our show today. Thanks for all your comments. We're going to open up with – we got a special one tomorrow. Not going to tell you who it is, but you got to check it out. You're going to want to hear this guest that we're going to have on tomorrow. We're working on it. We'll finalize it, but he's coming. I'm telling you, tomorrow you don't want to miss this because we're going to talk Sam Pittman. We're going to talk Lane Kiffenhire. We're going to talk Eli Drinkwitz. We're going to talk Matt Luke to Georgia. We're going to get with this particular analyst. You want to hear what he has to say because he's going to have a lot of chatter, Demetrius. We had him on. Just a little hint. He was on one of our shows at SEC Media Day. That's all I'm going to say. But we'll get out of here. Thanks for your questions from our producer, Demetrius Johnson. Also, too, want to give a thank you to our sponsors, Lindsay and Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also, too, in Rogers. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, anything residential, commercial. If you need it to look good, I'm telling you, he did our studio here where we do our live show, and I'm talking about very, very proud of the product that we have. Call Corey Beck. You won't be disappointed. And lastly, our good buddy down at 989 KDK's Chicken. You can catch them at 989 South Razorback Road. Go down and see Keith, Kathy. Particularly go see Kathy. Get a plate of that love. And if you would like to sponsor our show, you can reach out to us here on our Facebook Live on the Hill Sports Talk. You can get us at our email on the Hill, patj@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on our YouTube Live page. That's on the Hill Sports Talk LLC. All those things. If you want to be a big sponsor and a part of this show, because I'm telling you, we're going places in 2020, and we want to take you with us. But lastly, I said KDK's. Hey, it's not your mama's. Best chicken and waffles in the South. And once again, I want to thank a big congratulations to former Arkansas Razorback Doak Walker, winner, and new inductee to the Collegiate Football Hall of Fame, Darren McFadden out of Little Rock, Arkansas. He's repping the ARK, and he did it quite well last night up in the NYC. That's going to wrap it up with the DMAC interview, and then we'll get out of here, but we're going to come back tomorrow. Like I said, special guest. You don't want to miss OTH. It's on the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one. Let's get it. To do it each and every Friday to get you guys ready for all Razorback goings ons on the weekend. But you know, sometimes there's certain days when you can only get goats, and today was one of those days. The biggest Razorback goat when it pertains to Arkansas football just made its way to OTH. Former Arkansas Razorback and Doak Walker winner, former Dallas Cowboy and Oakland Raider Darren McFadden joins us. D-Mac, welcome to OTH.
What's going on, man? I appreciate you guys having me on.
Let's talk about it, Darren. You know, from a former Razorbacks perspective, you watched from afar this program and its decline. I know you were in town a few weeks ago as you were being honored at the game. from your standpoint, what does this feel like to watch your program go through the struggles that they have for such a long period?
It's one of those deals that's tough to watch, man. I tell everybody I'm a Razorback supporter, win, lose, or draw. I'm always support, but it's definitely tough to sit there and watch it when it's going downhill. And it's one of those things, man. I'm just hoping we can get it turned around here soon and start being relevant again.
A lot of coaches have been mentioned. Your former head coach, Houston Nutt. You hear the Mike Norvales. What type of coach does this program need, in your opinion, Darren, to get the program back to national prominence?
Just from what we've been at these past few years, or however many years, I think we definitely need a coach that's going to come in there and get those guys motivated. You don't want a coach that's going to be in there and just have guys who want to do the most. You want to bring a coach in there that's going to motivate those guys and make them want to go out there and play football and try to win football games. And I feel like there's something that we definitely need.
When you look at it, are there any coaches that you've been around, Darren? And I'm going to ask you some quite honest, straight questions. I know your real talk is quite genuine, but are there some coaches that you've been around at the professional level, or after you left Arkansas, that maybe if you had a chance to speak with Hunter Yurachek, that you might mention?
No, put me on the spot that time. Man, I've been around a lot of great coaches, man. I've been speaking with different guys, and like I just feel like we need a guy that definitely come there and motivate players and anything. I don't want to do any name dropping or anything like that, but I feel like Mr. Yurachek is going to find the right guy in there and he's going to help us get this program back on the right foot.
Have you guys had a chance to talk to maybe the former team? And if so, what are some of the things that you, Darren, have stressed to maybe a Monte Spivey or a Raheem Boyd or a Devois Whaley? Guys that, they look up to number 5.
I hadn't spoke to the team as a whole, but, I've spoken to a few of those guys, and I tell them, man, even when I was back at the Auburn game a few weeks back or whatever, I just tell them, man, you got to keep your head down and keep grinding. You can't look at the scoreboard. You just got to go out there and keep on going, take it one play at a time.
You had a conversation, I believe, I was watching from the press box, and I believe you pulled off sophomore free safety Joe Fouché. Can you kind of elaborate on what that conversation maybe had been like? Because I think right after you said that, he did go out and make a very impactful play.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's basically what I told him, man. Hey, you can't look at the scoreboard. You got to keep going out there. As long as you take care of what you have to take care of in this play, and everybody else, you can't play the game for everybody else. No, everybody has to take their job and do their job. One person each person down the line, and that's what's going to add up to making it a good team. And, basically just told them that you went out there and made a play, man. And so I tell them, see, that's where you handle your business and take care of what you got to do. You can't depend on. You can't worry about if somebody else is doing their job right, but then you get caught up and bring yourself down. So you got to make sure you handle your job and do what you're supposed to do on that play and make it happen.
With this being such a young team, so many freshmen having to play, Darren, and you being a former player in the SEC West, which I think is the toughest division in all of college football without question.
Agree.
Talk about how tough that is. You hear a lot of the fan base get on the kids, but I think, some of the mistakes that we've seen either in the press box or from the sideline are just, mistakes that they've got to make and they'll grow from it. Talk about just this freshman class and this young group of 52 underclassmen going forward. What have you seen from that particular group?
It's all growing pains at the end of the day. You have to go out there and learn by experience. Not every guy's going to step in there and be ready to go and know everything what he's supposed to do right off the bat. But, a lot of those guys you have to learn as they go along, and some of those learning pains could be bad ones. So it's just something that comes along with football. I know a lot of fans look at it and say, "Oh, they don't know what they're doing," or this and that. But it's part of football. You got to learn on the go. Sometimes you can get coached up so well, but if something go out there and it goes completely different, then you don't know what to do. And so to me, that's part of just a learning experience for you. So next time you see that, you know how to recognize it.
Well, I know you had a big quote in leading up to the Battle of the Boot. Arkansas travels to Baton Rouge ironically in the same stadium that you had that wood. Talk about, some of your memories in that LSU Arkansas matchup. Which ones stick out? Or are there any plays or certain games, Darren, that maybe stick out to you over others?
You know, I always tell people that's one of the ones that stick out to me the most. Going down there and beating them when they were number one in the country. Nobody outside the four walls gave us a chance to win besides ourselves. And you know, to go down there and make those plays, playing guys like Peyton Hill, Stevie Jones. You know, those are all great guys, man. And, you know, we had a heck of a team this year. You know, everybody went out there, like I say, you got to take care of what you got to take care of on your certain plays. And for the most part, you add it up at the end of the game. And if you win more of those plays than the other team does, more than likely you're going to win the ball game. I feel like that's what we did down there.
Now, I'm going to ask you another tough one, Darren, because I'm going to put you on the spot today. It's just one of those days. You are free and available to coach if, you so choose. But have you ever thought about, D-Mac, becoming a collegiate coach or coaching at the collegiate or professional level, maybe at the running back position?
You know, I feel like that's something I definitely want to do in my future. But I know at this point in time right now, I have two young daughters at home. You know, playing football, I missed a lot of my older kids, my boys. I missed a lot of their different things and events. And so to be at home raising these little girls right now, I love it, man. But definitely, I definitely going to keep that in my mind for sure.
Now, I want to congratulate you as you were just recently awarded the NCAA College Football award that you received. You know, talk about that and all the rewards that you have achieved during your playing career, either high school, collegiately, or professionally. And I know you have, little ones. What does that mean for dad when, the kids ask about, their daddy's collegiate or just football career?
You know, it's just a great honor, man. There's so many great players that came to the NCAA football, and just to, be mentioned amongst some of those greats, man, it's just a great honor. And, my little boy, they're old enough now where they Google things and see different stats and stuff. And I've been retired 2 years, and, we can go somewhere, and they're like, Daddy, people still want your autograph? And it's just always fun to see, because I guess they understand it, they don't fully understand it, but it's always a good time, man. And, just to be able to let them know the things that I've accomplished and, try to motivate them to do things in their life. It's a joy for a dad.
Talking with former Arkansas Razorback, former Dallas Cowboy, former Oakland Raider, Doak Walker Award winner, Darren McFadden here on the Hill, our A segment of our Friday edition. But I want in your words, D-Mac, to explain to the viewers and listeners, in your word, what's the uniqueness about being an Arkansas Razorback to Darren McFadden?
And for me, it's everything in the world. I grew up a kid in Arkansas, watching Arkansas football my whole life. I didn't want to go anywhere else in the country. If you look at different states, they have so many different major universities and things. But if you look at Arkansas, it's like Arkansas is the one major university that we have. I know we have other schools, Arkansas State and different schools like that. But, for me, Arkansas was my professional football team growing up, and I loved it and didn't want to go anywhere else in the country. And, I wanted to go there, and even though the year I went there, we were 4-7 my freshman year. But I still want to be there and make a point, try to prove it and turn the program around. Eventually we ran some ball games and we went to a couple bowl games.
Well, before I let you go, anything you want to say to Hunter Yurachek, or just the Razorback fans in general about this coaching search and the future of Razorback football, Darren?
I know there's so many fans that have so many different opinions and everything about who they think a coach should be or what they want to coach with. If they're fans at the end of the day, I'm not saying anything against that or nothing against them, but I feel like the AD, he knows what he's doing with that job. He's been in that position before to have to make those decisions. Even just looking at our basketball coaching, so that says a lot about him right there.
Now I need you to say it one time for you. What was that saying that you got that? You got to say it one time so they can remember how you said it.
Right here, baby.
Well, Darren, hey, thanks for taking time out, man. We may have to come up with a D-Mac segment here on OTH if you're up for it. Demetrius and I would definitely love to have you on periodically, and maybe we'll bring you back when Arkansas does name their next head football coach of the Razorback.
Definitely let me know, and I think that'll be great, man.
All right. Well, man, you have a blessed one, and thanks for taking time out on the Hill, my man.
I appreciate y'all. Take care.
That was former Arkansas Razorback, former Doak Walker Award winner, former Oakland Raider, former Dallas Cowboy. I just got a lot of former All-State. What else is he former? He's just got so many, but that was a great segment. We want to thank Darren McFadden for coming on, and want to give kudos to my producer for setting that interview up. Demetrius Johnson, like I said, did a lot of due diligence throughout the last week and a half to get this thing set up. It's been something. I told you we had a surprise for you. We told you that last week, did we, D? We told them. But that's going to wrap up our show today. For On the Hill, our Friday edition of the A, want everyone know before we get off the air that we will be doing the play-by-play broadcast on Red Dirt 106.1 tonight of the Fayetteville Bulldogs second-round game as they travel to Bryant, Arkansas to take on the defending state champ Bryant Hornets from Hornet Stadium. Pre-game show will be aired at 6:30 with kickoff for 7 p.m. You can catch all that on FM 106.1 Red Dirt Radio tonight. But that's going to wrap it up for my producer, Demetrius Johnson. For myself, I want to give a thank you to our guest, Alyssa Orange of the Pig Trail Nation and KNWA, and also to Darren McFadden, D-Mac. He came on and gave his thoughts on the state of the Razorback football program. And I want to give a shout-out to our sponsors, Lindsay & Associates, with an office location in Rogers, office location also two in Fayetteville. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, residential, commercial, anything you want to look good, contact Corey Beck. And lastly, KDK's Chicken, located at 989 Razorback Road. Go see Keith and Kathy. Get your plate of that love, and like they say, it's not your mama's. The best chicken and waffles in the South. That's going to wrap it up. We're going to get out of here because we got a game to go produce and call. Fayetteville Bryant, Red